Hey guys, Caesar here. Around the world, thousands of churches have loads of people involved in what we've come to know as small groups. And that's a good thing. But often, maybe you've experienced this, these groups can become very inward focused, not a lot of outward or missional impulse. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Shifting your small groups to missional communities is much more than a name change. It's much more than a weekly meeting with a bunch of mostly Christians hanging out. And it's not just a monthly service project added in on top and called Missional or Our Mission. I want to recommend a resource that I truly believe can help change this for you and save you a lot of time and frustration. And it'll help get your group on a path to a much more missional and incarnational lifestyle. Now, I've used this tool for years now with lots of people. It's called the Tangible Kingdom Primer. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've even used it. It was written and created by Hugh, Halter, and Smay. And I was privileged enough to be an editor on that and kind of help shape that a little bit. You can click right here if you want to get a free sample week of what this looks like and even a discount code to save you a couple bucks. Now, I love this thing. I know of no other resource, seriously, that is more helpful for making this transition from small group sort of lifestyle and mentality to more missional community, incarnational, or for starting a brand new community from the ground up with a solid foundation. Let me give you a quick heads up as to how the Tangible Kingdom Primer works and why I love it and I think you're going to love it too. The TK Primer is an 8-week experience done in community as a group together. It's designed to create new community rhythms that lead to a deeper understanding of the gospel and incarnational living. The primer, it's set up in a daily format for each person in your group to complete individually. Well, it takes about 15 or 20 minutes most days to sort of read through the material and then process the questions. Day 5 of this weekly sequence is a community day when you'll get together with your group for a meal and to work out what you've been learning all week. Okay? Individually, now you're going to come together. I'll talk about that more. Let me briefly walk you through how each of the weeks are set up. All 8 weeks follow the same sort of pattern. Day 1 is our exploration day. It's the first day of each week's rhythm where you'll be introduced to the subject of that week and provide thoughts and stories and definitions to help you get an understanding of the concept for the week. Day 2 is a meditation day. On this day, you get a scripture or two connected to the topic to give you a biblical framework. And you also answer a few questions to help process the scripture. Day 3 is our change day. This is where you start to get serious. What does this idea mean in my own life, in your life? How would your life be different if you began to let it be changed by the gospel and what you're learning that week? What if that really took root? Day 4 is action day. And by now, you've begun to let your heart be changed. How about your hands and feet? Action day is about putting it into practice. These days are absolutely critical to the success of your group and your own personal growth. Day 5 each week is your community day. Like I already mentioned, this day is meant to be a model for how your lives and community are to be increasingly lived out. Day 5 is when you get together with the other members of your community. That's those other folks who are putting this stuff into practice along with you. And you do something together. And the primer, the Tangible Kingdom Primer, will guide your time each week, kind of give you what to go and do and experience. Day 6 each week is a calibration day. And here, you'll revisit the theme from that week, but from a different angle. And you'll get some additional things to think about as you wrestle with the topic of the week and allow God to bring transformation to your life. I really love that day. Day 7 we call Recreate. I'll explain why. It's the last day of each week, and it includes a time of rest and reflection with the heart of a Sabbath, a rest. This is a reminder to each of us that taking a break is in fact a biblical pattern, one we like to call recreate or recreate. We rest in Jesus' completed work on our behalf, and then out of that rest we can create value and beauty and work. Now real quickly, here are the topics that will be covered over the 8 weeks together. I'm going to go through them real quick, but you can check it out online too. So week 1, you cover what is missional, give you a big framework for what it really means to be missional. Week 2, what is incarnational? What does it mean to take on the flesh of your neighborhood? Week 3, the gospel, going to make that bigger, touching all of life. Week 4, what is community? Week 5, it's called living out, right? You kind of get an idea what that is. And week 6 is inviting in. So how do you bring people into the family? Week 7 is becoming an apprentice. I love that word apprentice connected to discipleship. And then week 8 is the intuitive life. What does it look like to walk in the Spirit? Now, if you click here, I'll send you a sample of the first week of the TK Primer and a special discount code. Like I said, save you a few bucks when you start taking your own group through this. The next best time to get started transitioning your small group to a missional community is now. See you next week, and as always, thanks for watching.